Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at my Shadow Primeape in the current Retro Cup. We already took a look at the normal Primeape in a different video, but today we're going to take a look at the Shadow Primeape in a completely different setting. We also could have made like this video about the Dugong, which is a very good Pokemon to run right now. This team itself, I think, was in my top team video. I'm fairly certain it was in my top team video as well, and for a good reason. This team was lovely. This team was really good to be played there as well. You see my elo dropping in the beginning a bit as well here, like my starting elo is a bit lower. I did do some sets before, like 1.5 sets basically, with not this team, with other teams, with I think 3 different teams. It just didn't work out. It just didn't work out for me. I tried several different things and I did not win a single battle. Part of it was a bit of frame drops and stuff like this, bit getting unlucky, stuff like this, but just generally speaking, it just didn't work out. And that's something that happens to me all the time. You just don't really see it on YouTube. But here's one thing. I don't really know what I want to run. I'm kind of currently just looked through the things and I was like, what do I really want to run right now? And here's my question. What should I run? Let me know in the comment section. Either teams I should run. It could be for Master League for this cup. Doesn't really matter. Like if it's Master League or this cup. What Pokemon I should run. What fancy movesets I should run. Anything. Like honestly, anything that you would like to see, I would really like to know down below in the comment section. I would really appreciate it. And if you scroll down there anyway, maybe leave a like on the way down as well. But yeah, this would really help me out. Like I'm currently really looking into maybe getting some suggestions from you guys. As yeah, I feel like the meta is cool. I actually don't really mind the meta. But it's very tough to build anything like crazy. And then, yeah, I could make the third video about a Sucker Punch user, which I might do soon again, because someone hit actually a very high elo range with Furfrou, which I have a team for now as well. So that's kind of cool. But, yeah, I don't know, like it feels like a lot of Pokemon are doing just the same things here, which kind of makes it a bit tricky to build like teams. For example, like, you have 3 different normal type Sucker Punch users, like the Ferret, which I already showcased, you have Furfrou, and you have Kecleon, you also have Spinner, you want to have a 4th one now as well. Like there's so many Pokemon right now that are very solid, but also kind of do all the same kind of things. And so yeah, again, if you have any kind of idea on like what you're running, what kind of interesting Pokemon you would like to see in this meta, please leave it down below. Anyway, we're gonna start here off now with this team. Again, this team is actually really, really good. I climbed back basically most of the elo that I lost before, and that is really nice. So, as you're gonna see here, we're gonna see some very solid wins with this team. We're going to have Dugong in the lead. Dugong having very nice bulk, also going to give us coverage here against those Dragon-type Pokemon is going to be very, very good. We're going to have against us here the Giraffarig, the Psychic Fangs coming through, as we're going to be able to reach out for the Icy Wind afterwards. This is going to allow us to get the attack drop, and the Goodra is coming back in, as we can now go ahead and go for the Icy Wind against the opponent. We can swap out now into the Oranguru. Oranguru can easily take a hit here. There's actually one Pokemon that I kind of thought of just now that I want to showcase as well, which I'm maybe going to make a video about as well, which I have to write down real quick. Sorry about this one. It happens immediately in the video, of course. But yeah, definitely, again, leave please ideas down below. Here we go see a Latios, which is, by the way, spoiler alert, a Pokemon that I had in the teams that just didn't work, which I'm maybe gonna revisit, which I feel like I just lost a lot of fast moves due to lag. But here we're going to have Latios against us. Actually very interesting Pokemon. It's one of the hardest answers based on what PE pokes us in the one-shot scenario against the Oranguru, and that's the main reason why I kind of want to take a look at it. But Dragon Breath and Dragon Claw is very cool, but also the typing makes it very, very interesting to be used, because it has, yeah, just the resistance against Psychic type moves, which is really, really nice. Yeah, but yeah. Next opponent, let's see what we're going to have here. We're going to have the Annihilape against Sunlight. And this is going to be a little bit of the issue for this team. This is the one big issue for this team is Annihilape. Annihilape is not a common Pokemon, at least currently in my meta, or like in the elo range. I think this was the only Annihilape that I faced with this team, and also kind of the only Annihilape I faced the entire day, I feel like. And yeah, we still have to see if we're going to be able to kind of deal with it. As you see here as well, I decided to swap out into my Oranguru. Hindsight, I should have mostly swapped out into my Primeape. Primeape is a great save swap for this meta. There are no Fairy type Pokemon, Psychic type Pokemon are weak to the Ghost typing, and generally speaking, it would have just been way smarter for me to just go ahead and go into my Primeape instead of going into my hardest answer to the opponent's Pokemon, and yeah, with the Oranguru there. And like, no, we're going to be in a position where we don't really have anything to do anymore. And that is very silly. That was definitely something I could have avoided for sure, but I did not, and this is definitely going to lose us a battle here as well. Again, I would like to know on how this actually would have worked out for us if we would have played it a little bit differently. If I saved my Oranguru for later, we will never actually know on what they're going to have in the back. I kind of should have used the shield here just to see what they had, but yeah, at the end of the day, we can just move on to the next opponent. The Mega Junko. They actually sent me also good games on Twitter. Good games to you as well. Maybe I'm still gonna replay there as well. But I definitely saw it popped up while I tried to do the battles. But yeah, today we're going to see here the battles a little bit later than usual. Just there was a lot happening today, so yeah, sorry a little bit about the delay here. But as you're gonna see, the opponent's going to have no Aurorus, which is going to be great. The Mega Junko, of course, as channel supporters for like longer, are ready at this point. Very, very nice to see, of course, the name also all the time here in those battles. Shout out to you. Always kind of some fun Pokemon that they're using as well. We're going to have here the Superior against us. I sure went for the close combat. I knew that they would no-shield the first one. So that was kind of silly by me. Definitely a misplay, but we're going to see here now as well something a little bit annoying. We actually want to swap out here. As you can see as well, I clicked on the Dugong and then I had a little bit of frame drop and then just didn't register, which is really, really annoying in this situation. But they're going to have a fun Pokemon in the back here, which is going to be Solrock. Solrock, actually a very cool boy, but I think the other one is better, isn't it? Isn't Lunatone better because Lunatone has access to Moonblast and Solrock has Solar Beam? So I'm not too sure which one is going to be better here, but Psywave and Roxas is very, very cool. Solar Beam going to allow you to hit Pokemon that are Water type, which there are not that many great ones, but I feel like Moonblast is going to be quite interesting because there are a lot of Fighting type Pokemon. I guess there's a fast move already for this, but a lot of Dragon type Pokemon. So I feel like Lunatone actually has a lot of play for this meta as well. Moving on, we're going to have a Gastrodon against us. Gastrodon is going to be an interesting one here. So we're going to see that we're going to be able to go for the Icy Wind against them. That's going to be great, debuffing the opponent here immediately as well. And we're going to see the swap out straight away into the Oranguru, which we're going to be able to debuff as well now. That is going to be a lovely for us. This is going to be great. As the Brutal Swing is coming through, we can go for the Icy Wind. After the Icy Wind, we have the option to just swap out of here and just go into our own Oranguru. Now here's the cool thing about this kind of scenario. This happens quite often, that the opponent says up the Oranguru. What you can do is, you can always go for one fast move with the Dugong and then swap out, because this allows you to tie your fast move of Confusion against the opponent's Confusion, allow you to sneak in a free fast move the entire time when they're gonna go for their first charge move after the debuff, and that is always really, really nice for us. As you will see here, they're going to have a Talonflame in the back. This Pokemon is going to be okay for us as well, but it can be a bit of a tricky one. We have to be a bit careful, and this was actually my favorite game of today's video as well here. We're going to have the Talonflame with 2 shields. We're going to have the Primeape here. We get a free fast move in, which can really be important, which we're going to see here maybe later as well. We're going to get up to another Rage Fist, and we can go for another one straight afterwards as well, as we will see here that we can go for 2 more fast moves, go for another Rage Fist, and they're going to have another charge move stone now, which makes it a little bit annoying, but they would be able to knock me out. But luckily, they decided to swap out into the Gastrodon, getting me another Rage Fist boost in there as well, knocking out the opponent. We can get a 1 Confusion in, and this 1 Confusion allows me to go for 1 or more Karate Chop to knock out the opponent's Talonflame, and we win with basically 1 HP onto our Primeape. This is actually a very good lead for me, and they swap out directly into the Dunsparce. Here's the one thing that I don't really like about Primeape in this kind of capacity. The pacing is good, but it's not perfect. I feel like it's kind of like it is. It's definitely a very good pacing, generally speaking. But against Dunsparce, I feel like it feels closer than it actually is in terms of the matchup. Like you're always going to be able to at least get a big advantage in either getting both shields or getting the switch advantage, so it's like always kind of a very, very good matchup for us. Here, as you can see, we decided to swap out into the Oranguru, which is going to be a bit more safer, but I also thought they would go for the Earthquake there, so it was a bit of a mistake by me. But now we can go for Trailblaze, and this was maybe a bit of a mistake, because what this does is, it forces me to stay in this matchup, and I don't really want to stay in this matchup. But we're also going to see that it's going to be a Body Slam, so they're not running any of the hard-hitting moves here, which is really good to know as well. So no Solar Beam from the opponent, no Hyper Beam from the opponent. Very likely going to be Shadow Ball, which we might gonna see here as well. Shadow Ball would be the best move to go for. It's going to be the Body Slam though. And again, I'm not sure what the opponent's going to really running here. Maybe it's going to be Earthquake, but Earthquake doesn't really make too much sense as well, as Steel-type Pokemon got banned, so I'm not too sure. Anyway, we're going to have here the Icy Wind coming through, getting the shield from the opponent, the swap onto the Cloudsire. We can even reach the Ice Wind in time before they can go for their own charge move, which I was quite surprised about. But it's going to be basically, yeah, sealing the deal here. We're going to be able to easily win that next battle, so we can just let the move go through. And we're even going to be able to survive this move, getting me even a little bit more damage onto the opponent. And we can now farm them down, and we can move on to the next one. We're going to have Dunsparce here. We're going to see now the Chargeable coming in, and we can try our best here with Brutal Swing. Brutal Swing is going to be great. This is going to allow us to get a little bit of damage onto them. And here's the thing as well. While this looks like a very bad matchup, it is also a very bad matchup. It is actually a bad matchup. It's just not really great for us. But because we got a little bit of damage already before there against the opponent, that they decided to let the move go through as well, we actually can realign ourselves, and we're actually gonna do that as well. Because I feel like at this point, like, what would I gain? I would just be there with, like, no advantage at all. Here, at least we have switch advantage. Doesn't really matter. Not really, to be fair. But, yeah, we're still going to try our best here. The Dunsparce coming in against us. We will see the opponent going for a Drill Run. We will be able to swap out now into our own Primeape. They're going to have a Feraligatr on the back. And this is going to be basically game over. I don't think we're going to be able to win this battle here today. But we're still going to try our best here, of course. We're going to see the Rage Fist coming through. They have to decide to use a charge move here as well, which gonna force them to be kind of energy dry here maybe. There's going to be the Dugong coming back in. I'm gonna try my best to go for the Icy Wind to drop the opponent's attack before they can go for any more charge moves afterwards. But I'm not too sure if I'm going to be able to do that. Yes, I will be. But it's going to be very, very tough. Like, it's going to be just a very, very tough matchup here. We're gonna get the attack drop onto them. They are gonna swap out of here. They're gonna be able to catch the move onto the Dunsparce, which really doesn't matter because we needed to go anyway here, and we have to try to hope and catch a move here from the opponent, which kind of works out and kind of didn't. And as we will see, Drill Run is going to connect here. We're going to try our best to fully farm them down. It does not work out. But what the opponent does here next is kind of funny. They decide to undercharge this move, well knowing they're still going to be able to get to the move with a Feraligatr and win the battle, risking it on maybe even the frame drop here from Niantic that would have lost them in battle. It's fine, and we can move on to the next opponent. We're going to have the Activax. Activax is going to be great here, as we will see that we're going to be able to just, let the move go through. It's going to be the Dragon Claw coming through against us. We can go for the Icy Wind. I always like to go 1 over for the Icy Wind, by the way, because it's going to allow us to have a 9 fast move cycle for the next one, which is going to allow us to usually drop the opponent's attack from the opponent quite fast. Here, in this case, you saw me going up a little bit more. This was just to have perfect fast move timing, which is not necessary all the time, but definitely very beneficial here. And as you can see, the opponent goes for a charge move. It's going to be the Brutal Swing, and after the debuff, it doesn't really do any damage anymore. I think I'll go for another one here as well. I can let the move go through. I can guarantee knock them out with our move, because again, we are not debuffed, and that's going to be great for me. This is going to allow us though to get the realignment. We have still some energy here. The lead of ours is very, very low. Activax is very, very low. We don't get to the move here, but I'm fairly certain, as long as not really fast move beatdown, I should be kind of fine with my own Primeape, and it's going to be the Hakoma. And I was a bit worried, but what we can do is, we can go ahead and go for the Icy Wind. Dropping the opponent's attack even further, we can go for another Rage Fist, trying our best here to boost our own attack. We get the shield, and now they're shieldless, and now one move should hopefully be enough to knock them out. We will find out on how much damage it's actually going to do here. It is barely not enough, but we can now farm them down and win the battle and move on to the final opponent of today's video. We're going to see here the Dunsparce against us in the lead. That's going to be, of course, something that you want to spot. Oh, because we are going to have a Pokemon in the back with a fighting type boy there, Primeape, in order to counter it. But not only this, we're going to see as well that we're going to be able to go for another Brutal Swing against the opponent. This is going to be great. Brutal Swing is coming through. And we're gonna try our best here to do even more damage against the opponent. Drillrun is coming through as well. We're gonna try here our best to go for another Brutal Swing. They decide to go into their Rangaroo. Catching a super effective hit is definitely a risky play, but forces us also to go back into the Dugong, because if we would have went to the other Pokemon, we would have taken some super effective False Move damage. Here we will take some super effective Trailblaze damage usually, but as I decide to use a shield, we're going to be in a position where we can debuff the opponent's attack a little bit, making it kind of an equal playing ground there as well, as we cannot let the move go through and then farm down the opponent to get more energy. So, let's see what's going to happen next here. We're going to be able to go for another move. It's going to be the Dunsparce coming in, and we can swap out into the Primeape just to get out the Cresselia, but we have to be fast here. We have to be careful, as we have the first Rachus approaching, as we try our best to get to another one. Rachus is coming through here. I'm fairly certain I'm going to be able to outspeed the opponent even for the next one then. And as we will see, the opponent lets the move go through, allowing me to use a shield here, keep the buff, just farm them down, win that battle. And now it's the only last Pokemon is going to be a Dunsparce, which is already very, very low, which is going to basically mean here as well that we're going to be able to win the battle quite easily with a Dugong that we still have in the bag. Good games to the opponent. Thanks so much all for watching this video. Like, little respect to everyone here today. And yeah, I'll see you then. Bye bye.